Yeah, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today's video is all about Smite 2, as the game is dropping in under 2 weeks. Yes, you heard me right. August 27th, the game is going to be dropping in the closed... I think they're calling it closed alpha. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's closed alpha. And anyone can play this. It is 24/7. Everything will be dropped. And boy, is there a bunch of exciting things to talk about, because... one, a massive patch has dropped recently. Well, I guess it was more of a show. They went over a bunch of things happening recently. There's going to be a patch this week sometime going over a bunch of like items and gods changes on top of some of the things we saw in this Insight show. But before we even jump into the Insight show, I kind of want to talk about just Smite 2 in general and what you need to know about the game. So as I just said, August 27th, the game will be dropping. It'll be 24/7, play as much as you want. There will be a ranked game mode available. As far as how in-depth that ranked game mode is, Innocent Rabbit on Twitter tweeted that it is going to be a very bare bones style ranked system at the beginning, and they're going to slowly implement more and more changes that he's really wanted to kind of add into it to make it more in-depth and more creative, more unique, and just better for the system. And that's Innocent Rabbit, who is in charge of like all the matchmaking stuff. He's an absolute genius. He's a beast. He's really nice. He's going to be adding in all this stuff. That has got me very excited for ranked. So expect ranked to be there. It's just not going to be super in-depth, but eyes peeled. Innocent Rabbit is going to be adding a lot of stuff to make it even more exciting. On top of that, there will be, hopefully, the last thing we heard was it's supposed to be 40 gods added into the game. On the last alpha we played, there was 24 gods. So hopefully they can get 16 more, because 40 is the number that we were told. And I'm really hoping we can get to that 40. Even if we get just close to it, like 37, 38, even 36, I think that's really exciting. And there's a few gods on the horizon. We actually just got a Mordred teaser, which is really cool. And if you guys are interested in that, if you want me to make a video on it, I can do that. But Mordred is someone we know is coming out. I don't know a ton about Arthurian lore, but I know Mordred, I know King Arthur, I know MLF, and I know like Lancelot. I just don't really know their stories. Oh, and Merlin. There's 5 Arthurian gods. Or heroes. I know Arthur's a king. That's about it. And I know Lance like killed him or slept with his wife or something like that. But either way, little rant. Hopefully they can get up to 40 gods. Also, for Monday's giveaway, the skin codes are going out to SciLol200. Right here, Mario's got you. And it's Undieware. Also right here. DM me on Discord. I'll get you guys the skins. Better luck to all you guys next time. Thank you guys for entering. The gods we know so far: Ares, Susano, Anhur, Anubis, Athena, Bacchus, Bellona, Cern, Chalk, Fenrir, Hades, Hecate, Kukulkan, Loki, Neith, Odin, Sol, Thanatos, the Morgan, Ymir, and Zeus. Beyond that, they have a lot of changes coming. The Conquest map, a while back, had a lot of negatives about it. Hyros is taking a lot of those. They're changing a lot of those. They're changing the UI. They're changing the item store a little bit. They're changing like the game's mechanics in general. And then there's a really cool thing at the end where if you guys are interested in progression, I'd stick around. I'll go over that. I'll talk about that. A lot of really cool things in this recent patch. So they're bringing back card arts instead of those renders that they have. This is the old Loki card art, and they're adding this new one in. He will now be looking like this. And they're going to be going through a lot of the older card arts and making them look a lot more like the new, or like how the actual gods look, instead of like an artistic design of them, which is really cool. They're also going to be changing the map around. This is what the old map looks like. And then the new map going to be looking like this. It's almost like it looks less blurry. I really like the art changes. And another look on the other side of the map. This is what it used to look like. And this is the new design of it. I think it looks a lot better. And again, in the jungle, it looks really meh, and then you see this new updated version and it looks a lot cleaner and just a lot more like Smite. And then lastly, on the chaos side of the map, this is what it used to look like. Not a lot of anything there, and now you have this cool orange grass. Everything about the art changes, looks a lot better. The next thing I want to see outside of the art is just changes to the map in general. We talked about this on the podcast, that me, Nika, Solo, and then Haddix also joined in and was in it for a little bit. A lot of the map stuff we don't like. Like the interact key with the horn, I can't even remember what it's called. The Galahorn, I think is what it's called. The teleporters we don't really like. The gold camps we don't really like. We'd like the buff progression, stuff like that. But there is a few things that we would like to see changed. If you guys want more in-depth talking about that, go check out the podcast. We're planning on doing another one, if you guys are interested in that, after the 24/7 or right before the 24/7 drops, just to talk about all the changes. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely let me know down below. They are also changing around how the item store looks. So it'll look a lot more like the current Smite store does. On the left side, you have the columns of consumables, starters, strength, intelligence. A little spoiler, starters are back. And then you have the actual items in the middle of it, a lot more like Smite 1. And this is a look at what the old store looked like. So instead of the items in the middle, and then also having like a description of kind of what they are, this one has it where it's changed up a little bit. I think it flows a lot better. So they're going to be adding back a bunch of old, exciting Smite items, which I think is a good thing because of how limited the store felt beforehand. It'll feel a lot more updated and a lot more voluptuous because there's just more things to purchase now. Now to kind of get into the, I guess, a little bit more nitty gritty of the actual changes that they are doing. There's an actual change to the Smite mechanics now in this new patch. Instead of having 6 items, all can be actives with 1 of 2 available relics, and then you had like a ward slot, and then your relic slot was the other one. They're kind of opening it up a ton. There's now going to be 7 purchasable items. So over here, you have your starter item, you have 1 item, 2 item, 3 item, 4 item, 5 item, 6 item. So you have your 6 items over here and your 1 starter. There's going to be a relic slot. There is now 5 total relics, which I'll talk about in a moment. There's 2 consumable slots, which wards, pots, both health pots, mana pots, and like 3k pots, stuff like that. And then there's 3 active slots. 1 here that shows up when it's available, and then 1 here that shows up when it's available. These 5 relics that are available are now Beads, Aegis, Sunder, Blink, Shell. You can only have 1, and you cannot change it no matter what. So once you purchase it and you leave base, that is the relic you're stuck with the rest of the game. Another thing that they're changing that I'm still a little iffy about is they're making enemy gods do 1 type of damage no matter what. So if the enemy Neath builds intelligence, it does not matter. She is doing physical damage no matter what. Which I'm still a little not happy with. Because if I'm like an intermediate level player or like a newer level player or something, and I'm like pressing tab, checking out builds, I'm like, okay, this guy's got a lot of int in his build. I'm going to be building some magical protections to counter that. Just to find out, oh, this god's just physical no matter what. I think it just makes it a little bit more difficult to read anyway. I don't think that was something that they needed to mess with. It makes it a little bit easier to understand playing against a character, but it makes it more difficult for that character to learn, or for you to learn that character. Like, imagine I load into a game, I'm playing against a Neath. The Neath is one-shotting me with ult. I'm like, okay, I want to play this Neath character. I load into game, play a Neath game, start building strength on her because she's a physical damage character, which if you check your like death recaps, it's going to say physical damage. Start building a bunch of strength just to find out a lot of my scaling on my ult is intelligence. I'm misbuilding and now Neath feels bad. And I'm like, why does this character feel so bad? I think it just makes it makes it a little bit more complicated for not a ton of reason. I think I would have preferred it not changing, and it's just this character does this damage with this ability. It makes it so it might be a little bit harder to play against that character, but once you know how to play against that character, it's going to be very easy to learn. Another thing that is changing is the visual and audio of all gods that they had already made. So a mistake that they said that they made was they made abilities too cinematic, and then a lot of people didn't like that because it was visually stunning, yes, but it was very cluttered, very hard to tell what was happening. So on the left, you can see what new abilities Ymir look like compared to his old abilities on the Alpha Weekend 4. So a lot kind of quicker. It's less visual stuff happening. The 2 same thing. It just kind of gets there. Yes, it still looks good. Still looks really nice. There's just less things happening. So if it is like in a team fight, you can kind of tell what you're getting hit by. Lastly, the ultimate can kind of tell it's visually growing. And then when it pops, visually a little bit simpler, still very stunning. Again, I don't want to make it seem like it's not good. It is good because it's less stuff happening, and it still looks really nice. And the last thing I want to touch on is the mastery system update is just insanely deep, and there's a lot of things to go over. I'm going to go over it as quick as I can just to kind of show you guys what is happening with it. So now there will be a free kind of battle pass of a god, and there will also be the Ascension pass that you can pay 450 of the legacy gems and 450 diamonds, which is their new in-game currency for Smite 2. So 900 diamonds if you don't have the legacy gems to unlock the extra rewards that you get. The free ones you'll be able to get no matter what, which is like, this is the clap, this is the wave, Very simple stuff. You get the voice pack for free. And at the end, there are shadow skins that you can unlock from the Ascension Pass. They're also bringing back in-game trackers, which is I know a ton of people are excited for. I'm going to let them go over this quickly because it's pretty cool.
As you do things in Smite 2, we are going to track them, and you can show them on your loading card to everybody. So as an example, you're spoiling. You can say, okay, I'm showing how many times I got an enemy to max stacks of Storm's Edge ever in playing the game, and how many god kills I have gotten on Susanoo. So people can see your progress and your stats. And these will start tracking before you unlock the tracker. So it's not like you got to rush to get the tracker unlocked. You're not going to lose these things. And each god has two really kind of like custom things related to their play styles.
So like this is another one right here. However many ultimates you get or how many people you hit with your ultimates. And then some of these on the bottom, these badges that you get. This kind of makes it so there's this extra depth of customization while you're loading in. And instead of this render on the backside, it will be the actual card arts, which I showed in the beginning. Yes, that is a bunch of things that are being added to Smite 2. Let me know down below if there's anything else you guys are curious with Smite 2. I will also be going over the patch this week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. See you guys again next time. Peace.